Today I want to talk about the one mindset that completely changed my life in just 6 months. Well, here's how to do it. So this story all started in my third year of my study of marketing management. On that moment I needed some time off. So in my third year of my study I did my major in Denmark. I chose to go to Denmark because I needed some distraction in my life. So in that moment, there was also the corona disease or the COVID. So due to the corona situation, I felt lonely, sad, and I felt that I didn't have direction in my life. So if you experience corona as well, like there was a lockdown, especially here in the Netherlands. We couldn't do anything for 6 months. So Denmark gave me the opportunity in life to look at my life at another perspective, without the comfortable environment I was always in, and also seek people with other mindsets as well. So in the year 2021, I went to Denmark for my major for at least 5.5 months. And I still remember the moment when I was in the plane. And I said to myself, Ronald, you are here for once, so get the maximum out of this experience. So finally, when I arrived there, I had 2 weeks before the study started. I did sport management as a major. And in those 2 weeks, I took the time to meet new people. I also met an awesome friend of me who still is my friend. He's also Dutch. And we were hanging around almost every day for the first 2 weeks. And finally, my introduction week or something started at my school. And yeah, that was really cool because in the introduction week, I met a lot of cool people. And some of those people, 2-3 years later, I'm still talking to. And an interesting thing, what you can see with people who are like leaving their country and going abroad and the international people. It is then they're all open for new experiences. They're open to get discomfort in their life. Because how much guts does it take to leave your safe environment, and go to the outcome you don't know? So on that moment, I told you it was Corona time. And in Denmark and Scandinavia, things were quite different. As like in the Netherlands, everything was in lockdown. In Denmark, they didn't really have that much regulations about the Corona situation. So like 80% of the things I could do, which I couldn't do in the Netherlands. Like meeting people in real life, going out, going to the supermarket, going to the gym. All those things were available for me in the time in Denmark. So the situation in Denmark was quite interesting for me, because it was also a way to find who I really want to be. So to find out who Ronald was, who Ronald is, and what he wants to do in life. And in the time I was in Denmark, I had the mindset of get the maximum out of it. And I was thinking back in the last, on that moment, 23 years of my life. Do I really get the maximum out of it? Am I really living up my purpose? And on that moment, the answer was no. I wasn't really living my life there. So the mindset that completely changed my life when I was in Denmark was focus on the things I want to do. So finally, when my time in Denmark was over, I made the choice for myself. I am going to do everything I want to do. So school was something I had to do on hold. So after Denmark, I took a gap of 6 months. I stopped with school for one moment because I did marketing and it was interesting. But it was not something which I was so passionate about. It was not really something I really wanted to do. Sure, it was fun to do, but it's not something I really want to do. And I was always a creative person. Also with my study. I did always the creative work with reports, with presentations, with all those things, because that was something I was really interested in. So in those 6 months when I took a gap, I started with filming myself, editing, without even making videos. I was also starting with graphic design. I was learning to make logos. I started with photography to find out if that's something for me. And I also did other related graphic design work. On that moment, these were the things I really wanted to do. Because in my whole life, the mindset was that people decided over me in my life. Because the focus was on what they want to do, what they wanted to do. So this all started when I was around 6. I lived 7 years in several foster homes, and my parents couldn't even make the choice over me. So there were other people, external factors, as you can say, who made the choice where I had to live. I had to follow their rules. And sure, foster care can be something which can be good, but my experience wasn't that, especially the first years. So people were making my choices in my life. And yeah, the youth care or, the foster family was one of those situations. But it was also later on, especially in social situations with friends. I never took responsibility of my life because I was used to that situation where people made the choice for me. So every time I was with my friends, it wasn't really my decision, what I wanted to do. I was following the crowd. I was like a sheep. Sheeps are following each other. They're following the first sheep who is like walking to the grass or something, And also with relationship and work. Because in relationships, I was always pleasing. I was always pleasing what the girl wanted to do. And when I'm looking back at that situation, that didn't really work out, I didn't take responsibility of me as a man. Because in my situation, I never really had a father figure who helped me with that. So I had to all figure it out myself. And also with work, especially when you're working for a boss, not working for yourself, you never make your own choices. So what about your life? How much % of your day are focused on the things you really want to do? And what are you missing out? What I was missing out without, focusing on the things I wanted to do was that I was always in my comfortable space. And that comfortable place wasn't really fulfilling. So I was lazy, didn't have to do anything because people were making my choices, And I wasn't really happy on that moment. But think about that question. How much % of your day are the things you want to do? So the mindset that changed my life was that I was focusing on the things I wanted to do. Just write them down. What is something you want to do? And the outcome I'm having right now that I made the choice to find 6 months of my life to find out what I really want to do. And only focusing on that. Now I'm having a job, which is partly graphic design, video, but also the marketing side. But when I never were learning those things, I think my job wasn't that fulfilling. And sure, I still have the ambition to start something for myself, also with this YouTube channel. But for now, I made the choice which completely changed my work, also in my relationships, how I look back at my life, the choices I'm making right now. They're all based on the events I wanted to do. If you're in a situation where you want to change your life, you want to focus on things you want to do, but you don't know how, having work which you don't like, maybe your friends are not really giving you fulfillment. So write those things down. What is something you want to do right now? And what are the things you don't want to do anymore? It's not high science. You're just writing your thoughts down, maybe which you never did in your life. So take the time to think about that and making small steps to doing the things you want to do. For me, for the graphic design, it was not really that expensive though. Yeah, sure, Adobe can be expensive. But yeah, you can learn everything on YouTube. Easier than that, it's not possible because it's free, you know? It only takes some time and commitment. So what if you are going to make a difference today? Today, right now. What if you also take 6 months to focus on the things you want to do? Start before you think you're ready. Because you never think you are ready. So do it now. Right now in my life, I'm focusing on things I want to do. So yeah, this was just like some thoughts I want to talk to you about. It just like popped up in my mind. I didn't really script anything. When you're focusing on things you want to do, you can make a difference. And skip the most of the things you don't want to do. Or all of them if you're capable of that. But take it small. Don't cut everything already. Take small steps to do that. Otherwise, there's a big chance, I don't know, you feel overwhelmed, you feel lonely, when you're not really meeting your friends anymore, you know? So, yeah, this was the video of today. Hopefully it's valuable for you. And I hope to see you soon, guys. Ciao.